Welcome back, viewers, for another edition of Heads Up, and good to see you back, Goat. Good to see you survived another week, a cup week. From all reports and from what I could hear on TV, gee, those crowds sounded terrific. The roar of the crowd coming down the straight and the horses were charging towards the line. What was it like being on course?
Yeah, good morning, Neil. No, it was amazing day, really, Riccarton. The crowd was in fine voice, well behaved, extremely well dressed, both male and female. Just really glad that it came across to those who weren't there, just to give that electric feeling and that atmosphere. And good day's racing, I have to say, and enjoyable to be part of it. And the weather played its part too. Beautiful sunny day.
Yeah, and just referring to the cup race, I thought Lincoln King, with about 100 metres to go, had Desert Storm. Had the money in the bank, but just bloody thing just fought back too well. Great race.
Yeah, both Craig Grills and Danielle Johnson were going at it pretty hard to get their mounts over the line first, and just Lincoln King came up one stride too short, really. But no, well done to Craig Grills, and a good training effort from Chris Gibbs too, to have that horse peaking again after winning that 3,000 metres, 3 weeks prior. So
yeah,
well done to that combination. And yeah, unlucky Lincoln King, all but.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, a few of us were on, but that's racing. And someone told me it drifted out late. To $7 or $8, very late on the betting. So some might have got on.
The money definitely came for Dragon Storm, didn't it?
I didn't actually see the betting late, but yeah, did it?
Well, I think it's total fixed odds price got down to late 4s, early 5s when it was $8.50, I think, earlier in the day.
Incredible. Anyway, the 1,000 guineas. Carmelas wasn't really in my picks, but did you fancy it?
No, not really, but you should have, based on its last start run at Te Rapa.
Yeah.
But Group 1 races, you want Group 1 jockeys, and is there any better jockey in New Zealand than those Group 1s than Opie Bosson? Just timed his run to a nicety. You'd have to say the third horse, Miss Tycoon Rose, was pretty unlucky. Flashed home late. Tokarangi probably had its chance. Tinker McPhee might have been in the wrong part of the track. And our man didn't cash out his multi either, Neil.
Didn't he? Yeah, no, I thought she had a chance because her sectionals, her last 200 metres was only the 8th fastest all in the race. And they didn't go hard, so she just didn't set out, I reckon. But yeah, as you say, Miss Tycoon Rose, if Sam had been able to swap the whip to the Samantha 1, had been able to swap the whip to the left-hand side, that may have made a difference. Don't know how much difference, but no, she's, from a Oaks point of view, she does look a reasonable chance from that run. But yeah, just I haven't got any Stump the Goat questions today, but I've got a question here about Opie's combination with Jamie Richards. Their strike rate. Any idea what his strike rate is with riding? He's had 248 starts with Jamie Richards' horse. How many wins do you think he's had out of that?
248. 79.
Far off, 73. 3.4 strike rate.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
And it just puts him in the right place, doesn't he? Marcus Aurelius in the last race got it on the 1x1 there, got out, punched clear, and was just too good. Yeah, and Jamie Richards, interesting, he's top of the table, as we know, with the Trainers' Championship. Here's a question for you. His strike rate is 5.17, right? There are three trainers that have a better strike rate, that have in the top 20. Can you name any of them?
Our friend Mr. Sharrock.
No.
No.
Well, I'll double check on that, but I don't think so.
Would be Pikey, not Pikey, no.
No.
Won't be Baker.
What's a South Island trainer that did well over Cup week?
Oh, Pittman. Oh, Terry Ray. Terry Ray.
Yep.
Terry Ray.
4.54. But one Central Districts trainer, I was quite surprised, and not really surprised, but 2.78 strike rate. You know who you know?
2.78 strike rate CD trainer. John O'Benner.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Pretty
And
good.
Holly. Better mention Holly as well. She does most of the work.
And a couple otherwise there. No, so that was interesting. And Peter and Dawn Williams, 4.58 strike rate. So that's excellent stuff. Yeah. Lincoln King, Dragon Storm, and it was good racing. But anyway, we've got a good race tomorrow at Counties. The Counties Cup last year was a bit of a sit and sprint home, but this year it does look more or less the same. We've only got Just Amaze and in a twinkling go out with the tempo and big field. You think horses will be caught wide and go forward, but what's your initial thoughts for that?
Well, the betting suggests it's a pretty even race. Sauvignon Blanc, I think, is the favourite at 390.
Yeah.
But I think you're keen on one, and I'm going to back you up on this. Number 5, Just Amaze, to get a uncontested lead. I remember it winning the opening race on this program last year and basically just run them into the deck. That was over 2,400 metres. Then it went on to win the Waikato Cup at its next start from memory. So, yeah, this time of the year, that hits form, which is always a good thing. And the money's come a little bit, 850 to 750, which is also normally a good sign for the when it's coming from the David Green trained runners. So Michael McNabb to ride. You going to back me up on this?
Yeah, too right. No, I think it's a good chance because he's fourth up. Got back for Te Rapa last start, went round them, and put the pressure on halfway out, and fought on well for fourth. That was over a mile, so up to a middle distance, obviously too. So, and then a lot of paces I mentioned before. So I think he and in a twinkling can share the tempo and fight it out. Sounds too easy, doesn't it? Anyway, we'll see.
If only it was that easy, Neil.
Try it, yeah. Big fields tomorrow at Counties and smaller fields at Awapuni, but it's looking to be some nice bets at both meetings. So I'll post those later this afternoon on Friday and update on Saturday morning. Right. Last week we were a bit stiff with Hawke's Bay. Geez, I was ropeable with that try that was disallowed. Anyway, the commentators.
Yeah, I apologise to Dave C. I let you down, Dave, but gee, they weren't looking too flash at half time, but the class prevailed in the end, but only by 1 point when we needed them to win by 4. So we'll cop that one on the chin, and we'll back up with another rugby bet tomorrow. Australia play Argentina, and obviously that was the pretty interesting result last weekend, Neil, with the Pumas beating the All Blacks for the first time ever.
Amazing, wasn't it?
I think Saturday night, 9:45 kickoff, Aussie will beat Argentina and beat them quite comfortably. You'd think Argentina will be on such a high. They probably didn't stop partying until about Wednesday. I just think that they've been on such a high, and they'll come crashing back down to earth this week. Aussie seem to be on the improve. I like Dave Rennie as a coach. I think we've talked about him before on here, and I just think he'll have watched how the Argentinians played against the All Blacks, and he'll come up with a plan to negate their strengths. So Australia minus 5.5 for me in that Tri Nations game tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. Just going back to Dave C too, he had that multi with Sophistical that somehow got up in the inquiry room. But he did back Hawke's Bay at half time to win good money, so he wasn't too.
Oh, well, they're paying about 370, wasn't it? Something like that.
I forget the odds, but he said it was good odds, and so he wasn't too unhappy.
That's good. Well, that's good, Dave. We better see if we can find another winner for our multi-comp this week.
Yeah, okay. The last week's winner was the 5 correct entries, and the question was, what was the name of the horse that Katrina Alexander trained to win a Group 1? The Sydney Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sydney Cup, a horse called Honor Babe.
Yep.
So that was obviously a bit tricky for a few people. Only 5 correct entries.
Was.
We'll draw out number 4.
And before Brian. Well done, Brian. give you a big tick. I'll post your bet tomorrow morning once I've had a good look at everything. Good luck,
We better
Ron.
make it a bit easier this week, Neil.
Yeah, too right. What is it going to be?
All right, very easy. If you've been listening carefully, you'll know the answer to this. Who won last year's Counties Cup? So very simple question. Who won last year's Counties Cup? Text or email your answers through to Neil. By Tuesday night, you'll be in the draw.
Yeah, FormPro at formpro.co.nz or 027 352 6402. And right, big bats and bouquets. The first of all, I want to give a big bouquet to Opie Bottom. It was fantastic riding last week, and the big money's up. He just seems to get them in the right place. That ride on Carmelas, you could see where he was. He came, he got out, he just wanted to get to that rail. He actually checked Miss Tycoon Rose, I think it was, and got the fine for it. But let her relax, got her out at the right time, and just gave her every chance. And that's all you can expect. And he does the simple things right. So that's why it's so good, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep. When he's in the zone, he's extremely hard to knock off in those big races. So no, and well done to Jamie Richards. 6 winners on the day across the 2 venues. So
Amazing.
no mean feat there either. And you wonder how much sleep that guy gets, because he must, he's got so many horses under his care that he'd be plotting and planning their programs and how to improve them and their gear changes and who can ride them and all that. So he's a young man with a lot of weight of expectations from owners and other people on his shoulders, and he seems to handle it very well.
He does, doesn't he? I was thinking the same thing myself about how he does manage those the stable of so many runners. They form placing horses, so he must have a good team around him. So I think the father does help him out quite a bit too, doesn't he? With
yep, and all the guys like Scotty Lucock and Nicole Shayler, who kind of run the barns, the different barns. So it is a team effort, but ultimately Jamie's the one having to make those tough calls at times and placing the horses. So good on him. He's a good bloke.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I'll give it back to myself for last week at the Tauranga Punters Club. I was all set to go all in on Concert Hall, and okay, I'll put it on, and looked so well. Then I thought, I saw Robert Wellwood, is it? Yeah. By the Birdcage, so I wandered over, had a chat to him. He just confirmed what I thought. I was scared of about True Enough getting a soft lead, but I wasn't too confident about getting a soft lead. But anyway, I changed my mind off that onto True Enough. And anyway, we know what happened there. So sorry about that, but that's punting, as we know.
We've all been there. We've all been there, Neil. Chin up. You're still well in front over the years you've been running the Punters Club on course at Tauranga. So just one of those things.
Get it back next time.
I did see you had the photo up of Ruby Amani in one of your previews for Tauranga, just to bring back good memories.
If I made me a shitty old day, I often play the replay of that race. So that was a good day. Yeah. How about yourself? Any bets, bouquets?
No, not really. No, just well, I guess also managed to get along to Waverley on Sunday, and there was a good young people's function there and enjoying themselves. And still racing still is a popular entertainment option for all ages. So we often look at the doom and gloom side and it's struggling and whatnot, but I think there's a lot of positive news just on the horizon. There is light at the end of that tunnel. So it was a good day at Waverley too, actually, I have to say.
Yeah, especially in that last race with Yolo getting up.
That filled a few people's pockets up with some nice multi-collects. So good to see that horse delivering on its promise after its first up run at Awapuni after lockdown. You thought this horse was going to be extra good, but it just had a few starts to break its maidens, but it should go on with it now, you'd be thinking.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's Take 3 was one of my favourite middle distance runners, and from an Oaks point of view, crikey, Dick, she's got to be a definite chance, especially from that Dummy Mile stable. But, So, anything else? We've got a big day at New Plymouth races today. We're doing this on Friday morning, and there'll be some good races there. come back to a dead 5 track. I see rail out 7 metres.
Yeah, beautiful overhead conditions too. So that track will only improve throughout the day. I think the first race not till 2:47. So plenty of drying can occur between the time they put up that reading and race 1. So that'll be a good day. Must admit, looking forward to seeing Rock on Wood tomorrow at Awapuni. Neil, I think he's a pretty exciting horse. He should put that field away with ease at no great price, but yeah, he's a class galloper on his way to the Captain Cook. So yeah, it should be a good race too in a couple of weeks at Trentham.
Yeah, no, looking forward to that. It's going to be terrific. No, he's certainly due for one. It's a reasonably smallish field, so no excuses there. And anyway, viewers too, if you have some questions for the goat for next week, any about horse racing, tuck in some NRL if you want to. We're going to give him a good run next week and stump the goat. So get those into me by next Friday next week. So, nothing else you want to add before we sign off?
Not that I can think of, Neil. We haven't talked about you probably picked up, those that watch this program regularly, that we have a little golf competition that Neil and I participate in, and a few others, people in the racing industry. And Neil was lucky enough to win the comp this year, knocked us all off. So well done winning our golf tipping comp, Neil. I know you've been losing a lot of sleep worrying about it since you've been in the lead for about the last 2 months. So you held on to win. Now you can spend all our money over Christmas.
Yeah, now, yeah, I know what it feels like. When it must have been that jockey on Kotari Chief all those years ago when you're out in front and everyone's chasing you down. So it was good fun. Yeah.
It was good. I enjoyed the Masters, even though it didn't have any crowds and it was the wrong time of the year. There's something about that course that you just can't help but like. Yeah.
You've been there, haven't you?
No, I haven't been there. One day I'll get there.
Yeah, see you saying. Actually, I'll tell you what I watched was the feature group of Rory McIlroy and another group. I forget who it was, but you could hear them talking with their caddies around the course and the undulations and what they were doing between shots. It was really interesting to watch and listen to, actually. So I really did enjoy that. And you got a good feel for how steep that course is, you know, how many hills there are there. But, yeah, one day we'll get there. So everyone have a great weekend and good punting.